G'day people, that's right, it's a free boat giveaway. There she is. Not that boat, people. This boat. It's a 1977 LEHETE bourgeois design, only 6 made by a crazy Frenchman in Australia, this boat being made for his own travels. Let's take a look. You'll obviously have to redo the anti-foul, needs to be rubbed back. That was only done less than 6 months ago. There's a new shirt and there's an old shirt. There's also a bottle of rum to welcome the new owners. And a bit of a note, but I'm literally waiting for a taxi and leaving for the airport, so it's not much of a note. I'm going to send a video. So I've signed some documents and this is the boat. I mean, you know, it's simple, it keeps me dry, it's safe, and it's very practical. It has an excellent oversized French hydraulic autopilot by NKE. And the motor starts first click every time. I reckon you got about 10,000 more hours on this. It's only got 2,800. I've got all the spares, filters, secondaries, belts, you name it, it's all here. It also has a South Atlantic wind vane steering system that works brilliantly. No electrical power consumption besides a tablet and radio on standby is required, which is easily fed by the 350 watt of solar and the wind generator. If you have a good wind, the fridge can go on the whole time, but only if you're posh and you want stuff cold. The boat functions well in strong winds. Granted, I'm a bit over canvassed here, trying to get out of the way of Hurricane Bonnie. Ah, the fun we had. But it's also good in light winds, but this was a bit too light. You might be able to see that this Genoa is very, very new. Staysail was replaced by Precision Sails, so like 2 years ago, and the Genoa is less than a year old. I'd pull them out, but they got a bit of breeze and probably tip the boat over. Also, we have a practically brand new Facnor furler for the Genoa, a superb Rockner, and 1.5-year-old good old US of A made chain, not the cheap rubbish you get from China. Now, this may have happened. Some would say it was a bit of a bitch. There now was a hole in the bottom of the boat and it was now filling with water. But it was easy enough to jump in and find it and plug it up with plastic bags. It looked worse out of the water, but it was an easy fix. Plus, I also found 2 more holes and I fixed those too. As of last September, the boat was hole free. It's only 11 tonne. I would say it's as fast as one like a 20 or 30-year-old Beneteau. Not the newer ones because they're much lighter, but look, it goes really well. Quite often I'm doing 6 to 7.5. I rarely get to 8s, but you know, we're not racing, people. We're sailing, we're enjoying. Anyway, let's talk about this. So yes, it is a boat giveaway to someone that deserves it, either a single person or a couple or a triple. I wouldn't go 4 people. This boat's really only for 3, I think, or less. There is a catch, yes, there's always a catch, but all you have to do is send in a video. Tell me your story, no more than 3 minutes. You're probably going to say, oh, I can't tell much of a story in 3 minutes, but just give me the gist, because I might get back to you and ask for more information. And of course, it has to be an honest story. We're an honest vlog, we want honest stories here. So why am I giving the boat away? Well, 6 months ago, I have found a different path, and I think, well, look, it's the right thing to do to pay it forward, because there's been a lot of people that have invested in me. And now that, well, look, I was in a long dark tunnel and for many years, yeah, there was no light at that end of the tunnel. But now I can see a light. Certainly not financially secure, and this is probably not the most financially wise decision, but it's the right thing to do, and I ought to pay it forward. I'm reminded about the beginning of Cuba, when the channel was, well, in dire straits, and we were basically going to rack up the credit card, see as many countries as we could along the Eastern Caribbean, and then sell the boat and be done. But then COVID came, and then exile, and then I did an exile series, just basically. Look, apparently it was bad luck. Look, I was just making do. You know, it was a bad situation. I was just doing the best I could. But it struck a chord with people, and we got 40,000 new subscribers and a whole bunch of patrons, and then lo and behold, this apparent bad luck turned into good luck. And then I had the lightning, and well, incidentally, I had a bit of notoriety with this lightning thing, but essentially it was just me packing 2 plastic bags into a hole this big, people. So, you know, something that a 4-year-old does on any given Sunday. Yes, there might have been some visitors down below, but look, I was lonely on the boat for a while, so it's good to have friends. So that ended up turning into some good luck because, well, I didn't lose the boat. And I'm reminded that some people have bad luck that keeps on going into, you know, causally linked to more bad luck, to more bad luck. They just can't seem to get a break, and it just keeps on going on and on. I've been very fortunate where it hasn't turned out like that. So hopefully we're going to find someone like that. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hard luck story or a bad luck story. It could be any story from anyone. It doesn't matter what your age, just apply, okay? Some people might say, oh, Plucky, you'll just give it to the first hottie you see. I don't think so, people. You might have a really, really good story and it might strike a chord with the other people. Now, this is not the most ideal way of doing it, but I've run out of time. I'm leaving for Greece, literally. There's a taxi coming. It's not the most ideal. The most ideal way would have been me to meet people and talk to them and then decide there, but I just can't do that now. I've also had Patreons and PayPalers and supporters on YouTube. They've invested in me and the channel and the boat, and I think I owe it to them for them to have a say on where the boat goes. And so it's not so private, but it's the best I can do in these circumstances. Now, believe it or not, people, we are not the most popular sailing YouTube channel out there. We're only a very partially successful channel and, you know, towards the lower end. But we try. The point is, it's not going to be seen by too many people. So if you do know of someone that's deserving, or you know of a young guy or a young girl that's got this amazing inspirational story and they want to, or they need a boat to do this thing, or you know of an 89-year-old female that's still spry and got a kick in her step and has never had the chance to go on a boat because of the causal links of bad luck have always pushed her away, it doesn't matter, just apply. And also, if you're a popular YouTube channel like Riley from Sailing La Vagabond, he commented on one of my videos the other day. He's a top bloke. Just direct people here. The more people we can get to watch this and maybe apply, the more chance I can find the most perfect person to marry them with this boat. And then they can be off in the sailing life. And that means you, David Shee, you need to promote it as well. And maybe you, Brian from Dallas. Remember the battered fish and the smoked fish? Do it for the battered and smoked fish. And James and Anna and the future little one from Sailing Zingaro. And MJ Sailing and Sailing Uma. And God, there's so many, I don't know. They're all more successful than me. So good on you guys. And hopefully this boat can go to a deserved person.